Today I'm going to debunk some pretty nasty money myths, and any one of them can hold you back, so be sure to stay tuned. Hey, Frank Thomas here from Wealth Generation Strategies, and today I'm going to debunk 6 ugly money myths. I firmly believe we all buy into at least one of these myths, and they're just that. They're myths. And I'll disclose what the real truth behind each myth really is. Don't let any of them hold you back. Knowing what they are is the best place to start, so let's get started. First money myth has 2 different facets to it. You need to be rich to save, and another way of saying it is only a high income can have high savings. What makes this an easy one to believe is there is a grain of truth in it. If you can generate more wealth, you can definitely save more and save it faster. But the real truth is that's not what happens. What normally happens is as your income increases, so do your expenses. It just seems to happen naturally. The real thing to realize is yes, you can learn how to earn more, but you also want to learn how to save more too. Both of these skills are necessary for this to work. So you don't need to be rich or be a high income earner to save. Saving isn't what you have coming in. Saving is what you decide to keep for yourself. Believe it or not, we're only custodians of our funds for a very, very short period of time. Let me illustrate this point by asking you a question. When you got paid 2 months ago, do you still have any of that money anymore? I dare say that over 90% of you would answer that with a firm no. So the time and effort you expended 2 months ago is no longer benefiting you, whether you made $1,000 that month or $100,000. It doesn't matter today. Just think about it. Myth number 2, saving is hard. This can also look like I can't save now, but maybe later, because hey, saving's hard. The truth is you can save at any time. What the hard part is starting. It's hard to start anything new. It's because we're not familiar with this new habit. Once we start to save, even in a small savings account at the bank, this is the easiest way we can make it for now. I remember a time when grandmas would put their money into books or they put it into the mattress. Hey, no lie, I've seen it. And it doesn't get any easier. Now, I'm not advocating this method, but it's better than not starting to save. The trouble with starting to save tomorrow is tomorrow never, ever comes. There are many people coming into retirement with little or no savings. I'm extremely guilty of this. I have saved up many times in my life, but I never really learned how to handle those savings, and I would fiddle it away. It would be gone. If I would have learned how to save 30 years ago, wow, and actually put it away over time, I'd be so done right now. It's ridiculous. So this can be a scary place to be when they have no savings whatsoever. They might be able to survive, but it will only be survival. No trips, no cruises, or the finer things in life. Savings is what makes the big difference. Second, one of the primary ingredients of compound interest is time. The more time money has to grow, the greater it will grow. So just think about that. Myth number 3, high risk and high reward savings. Let's just call it what it is. Gambling. I've done it when my greed sets in. Burn this saying into your mind. If it sounds too good to be true, it's not true. This statement will keep you out of a lot of trouble and bad deals that will take away your savings. What you do need to do is you need to discover just how much risk you're willing to take when you're putting your hard-earned money into an investment. Even if it feels sure, don't bet it all on one horse. I promise you that horse will win every race until you put your life savings on it. And that, my friends, is the day the horse will trip and break a leg. I don't mean to sound negative, but I think it's important to realize that there's a lot more bad than good when it comes to investing out there. A savings account paying 1 or 2% is better than losing it all on impossible gains. Take your time and diversify your investment strategy. This way, when an investment fails you, it doesn't wipe you out. Take the time to learn as much about an investment before investing into it, but do invest regardless. Now, When I started to invest, I invested in what I knew. The gas company, the electric company, Coca-Cola. I kind of think you get my point. These are things that I could see and I knew they were good investments, even though they didn't have super great gains. Now, I invest into higher return investments because I've got the capital to do so without too much risk in any one thing. And I've learned a lot more about investing by investing. If you hear a great investment tip and it's on everybody's lips, my friend, you've already missed the boat. I'll just call it what it is. Stay away from it. I'll give you 2 examples. I got told I got to buy Tesla. This one when Tesla was way over $200 per share. Well, it ain't $200 per share today. So just something to think about. Before I get into myth 4, if you're enjoying this video, give it a like. It tells me you'd like to see more videos just like this. And also be sure to subscribe, as you'll be one of the first to see when I upload a brand new shiny video. So point number 4, let's go cracking here. Point number 4 is saving a little is a waste of time. This is a huge myth. Saving in any capacity is saving. It's scary how a little amount can amount to so much. Let me just give you an example. I sat down one day and estimated, what if I put away $200 a month when I got married 31 years ago? It was an amount I could afford to put away. But what would it be worth today? Believe it or not, that small $200 per month yesterday would be worth more than $260,000 today. And that's with only a modest return of only 7% per year on average. But what if I figured out how to get 10% returns? That same investment over the same time period could be worth close to $500,000. So the truth of the matter is, if you don't save, I can guarantee that you'll have exactly $0 30 years from now. If you do save even a little on a consistent basis, it can turn into a whole lot. Myth number 5. Saving fast and furious. This was one I'm guilty of. When I say fast and furious, the best example I can give you is deciding to lose weight and going to the gym and going on this diet. We set our minds to lose 40 pounds and get abs of steel like Arnold. If you've ever done this, you know the results. You work out hard and you diet even harder until the chocolate cake starts to call your name, Frank. Before you know it, the cake's gone and you've forgotten where the gym is. Okay, so it might be being a little silly, but we can be just as silly when it comes to saving. I'll get it into my mind that I've got to save $1 million, and by goodness, I got to do it by the end of the week. And if I could stop breathing to put another $10 in another account, I would. And yes, my wife is nodding her head. Saving is not a race of speed, but one of endurance. Pace yourself and be sure to smell the roses along the way. I've heard countless stories of widows having their husbands die from one thing or another and discovering they inherit millions when their husbands insisted that there was no money for anything. One story sticks out. There was a lady who inherited several $1,000,000 and she was actually pretty upset when her husband died, and for good reason. She did without, and she and her husband never had a chance to have nice vacations. And now that she's all alone with her money, she would have preferred to at least enjoy some of it with her husband while he was still alive. Something to think about. Myth number 6, you have to give up having fun. Kind of goes hand in hand with the previous myth. This is the furthest from the truth. Let's be blunt. If you're not having fun, you won't stick. You need to have fun, but it's important to decide what fun you will budget for and what you will abstain from. That's the truth here. If you find that you're having to go to every event, every movie, go out every night, you may have bigger issues here. Decide what money you're going to allocate for fun and go have that fun. And when you're done, you're done. A little trick that my wife and I deploy is breaking up our funds into weekly allotments. This way you may have a day of eating leftovers once a week, but not a whole week at the end of the month. That kind of sucks. We found this to be a winning strategy of having times of fun, but also having times of just laying low. They can actually complement each other and we can enjoy both. So there we go. Those are the 6 myths. So let me ask you a question. Are you buying into any of these myths? If you are, I hope this video will get you thinking and motivate you to make some changes. But you could say, well, Frank, what happens if I have a financial disaster strike? Doesn't that kind of blow all these myths out of the water? Because disasters are not mythical. Well, I'm glad you asked. There's a video showing up right now on the screen that's about how you can handle financial disasters. Be sure to click on it to check it out. Otherwise, I want to wish you the very best in your saving efforts, and I'm glad to have had the chance to spend a few moments with you today. Until next time, cheers and start saving.